Welcome to the Quillby Academy Immersive KoalaGO Playground for teachers and tutors who are working online with students and want a full playground where they can have their students explore, kind of in a long-term tutoring setting, and also have all their lesson plans in one place in one playground. So here's the introduction. Nestled in a valley along the River Quill sits Quillby Academy, a boarding school within a quaint village established during medieval times. And you'll take your students through the acceptance letter process here. They can check their mailbox and get their acceptance letter. I have one here, a blank one, so teachers can put their own name and title or change the text. And then it's time to get on the train to head to Quillby. On the Flying Squirrel Express train. And so this is where you would go in and hit the squirrel here to open the playground, and then you'd immediately spawn into the train station to arrive. I'm just going to go through another slide real quick, and then we'll come back and do that. So here's the basic layout of Quillby Village with all of the different features and places to explore. This is the Quillby coat of arms and motto. And it's basically reading, writing, and arithmetic with a little ADHD, autism, neurospicy squirrel here, because I tutor usually dyslexic students and often neurodivergent students, students with dyscalculia, dyslexia, dysgraphia, and I use handwriting, reading, I use linguistic phonics and multisensory math, and also Think SRSD or releasing writers, which is self-regulated strategy development. That's the SRSD. This is for executive functioning. It's a really great writing program. Okay, so our motto is concretum pictum abstractum, and this is how humans learn. This is good. I learned this with Singapore math. You go through the concrete stage, the pictorial, the abstract stage. So this was why I made this the coat of arms when I was working with students, and it became the Quillby coat of arms. And here are the books in the student library in the Quillby School that we'll go and look at in the playground. They're just here for reference. You can change all of the books in the library. You can delete them all. You can keep some of them. This is just for reference. And then there's a hidden treasure in Quillby that you can also ask your students to try and find. So let's go back and head into the playground, the train station. Now this can take a little while to load, so you can fast forward this in 10 seconds on YouTube if you want. But I just want to be realistic. I have a lot of images in this playground because it's quite immersive. But you can have this preloaded before your student joins, and then that first 30 seconds that you're doing your hellos and how are yous with your student, they can be loading in during that time. What if you already come in with it already preloaded? So we'll get there in a second here. You can fast forward. Okay, here we are at the train station. I'm going to zoom out here and go into first person. So you'd arrive in the train station. This is where most students would probably walk to the door here and come out. I'm going to go through the train station here as well. This is the train station entrance here, and we'll go out to the village. Look at the train station. We also have some orange cats who like to take refuge at the train station. And we'll come out the side because this is the way most students will be coming out and seeing this view and then turning over here and first encountering the life-size chessboard. So you could start your sessions or end your sessions with chess moves, also checkers. I have all the game pieces in here, clonable, infinite supply. So if anything gets deleted or you want to reset the chessboard or with checkers, you can just grab these pieces out and set up your game. Okay, I'm going to walk through here. This playground is set up in the fall autumn season, so I'm putting this out in early summer, late spring, so that teachers and tutors have plenty of time to have this all set up and ready for the fall with all of their lessons for students. This is a kind of Grecian style pagoda up at the top, just a viewpoint. And you can see it's also goes down to the side door of the classroom here. It's a little nature preserve. But we'll come back down to the chessboard and walk this direction, and we come to the drawbridge. The drawbridge separates the drawbridge and then the river separate the school buildings from the town and village. So the school buildings are over here, and the town and village are here. Let's go there, and we'll lift the drawbridge. If your students fall in the river, it's very easy for them to get out and climb back up the banks. Okay, let's head to Quillby Academy. Coming into the main entrance. Here's the main hall, set up for tea time. Got backpacks and some snacks and a study den, little seating area here for students. They've got their books and their quills on the table. And this is the main classroom. And I have this welcome board here, just says welcome Quillby students. You can go in and change this text to anything you want using the text box here. Yep, and we'll say done. And you can delete it different colors. So you could delete that text and put your own text on. Welcome to your student's name or the name of the lesson you'll be doing that day. I have this room set up with mini blackboards so that I can have lessons fully planned out on the boards, and then easily zoom in or focus. I call this zoom focus here, the focus tool. So when you have students in the playground, they each have their own avatar, and they're walking around and seeing through their avatar's eyes. When you go into this focus mode, they only see what's on your screen, what you focused on, so that they won't be distracted. So you can bring your lesson in up here and you can have it preloaded. So I'm going to pull up a couple math blocks here just to show how a lesson can look. You can bring in any PDF, any screenshot of any worksheet or image, and you can write on the chalkboard as well. So you can shrink or minimize your materials too, and then focus in on smaller areas. So you can fit quite a lot on here on one blackboard. So I'm just going to shrink these down. These will be some tens blocks for math. So if I can make these clonable. So I have an infinite supply. I accidentally duplicated that one. So let's say we were going to make the number 301. You can get out your drawing tool as well. You can bring in a place value mat, or you can draw directly onto the board with your pencil. So I can say my ones, tens, hundreds, and I can have the student build, 301, right? And then the 301 and what that looks like. And you can zoom in and zoom out as well. So you could have multiple lessons on here and make them smaller. Now, most of the time I'm working on my whiteboard with students. So we're going out to our whiteboard camera. And your student's image will be right next to yours. Here's my whiteboard. So I can say that it's a little unfocused. So we'll be working on our whiteboards, even if we're in the playground, because orthographic mapping and handwriting is so important for literacy. I'd rather have them do that than write on a screen. And then their video will show right below yours. So you could either split the screen like that, or enlarge it here and then scroll down and see their board as well. I tend to do screenshots of our whiteboards and then put our work up on the chalkboard. I'm going to unfocus now. This is a great way to invite parents to an open house night or day to show off your students' work and show off their virtual school and their virtual classroom. So it really feels like they're in a place and there's a record of all of their work up on the walls. Over here, I left in this English alphabetic phonetic code cabinet because I do a lot of sound sorts with my students on the whiteboard. I use Ebbly or linguistic phonics. And so we'll pull out a sound drawer and do a sound sort for that word. And then I take a screenshot of our whiteboard and I put that screenshot on the blackboards. So we're actually doing the writing. So you can write on the blackboard images, and you can also be working on your whiteboard and bring those screenshots onto the blackboards. Okay, over here is the reading retreat. I wanted to make just a really cozy, inviting area here, basically my dream school. And I think some students will enjoy it as well. Yeah, little reading room here. And then we'll come out of this main classroom and go to the second classroom here. This one, I have the text writing conservatory. You can change that to anything. You can make this classroom serve any purpose or any subject. I tend to use it for my releasing writers or Think SRSD writing prompt power cycle materials. So each board is a different writing prompt as we go through our power cycles. You can also bring in your word matrices if you're doing structured word inquiry onto these boards and save that work as well. Okay, so let's go out. We'll just go out the side door here. This was the side door to that little pagoda area. We'll come back in, come back out through this door into the main hall. And let's head upstairs now. Upstairs is the student library. So we have got all kinds of books and cozy areas to sit and study. And I have books for students to choose all along these shelves inside here. See all the choices and cozy areas. There's my high school books. Yeah, just a inviting study area. Go out to this balcony here. Look out over the town. Okay. So when we come through here, we have all these bookcases. There's some stairs here as well. We'll go up there in a second. Now these bookcases, your students can click on them. These are secret passageway bookcases. And here we'll go behind this red curtain. And this is the movie theater for students. So they can come in here, or if you are going to play an educational video or clip, you can always come in here and then share your screen. I'll come out. And the other side of this room is the Quillby Fencing Club to go along with the medieval village theme. So I kind of try to do a holographic fencers for fencing training. And yeah, just that'll be the school sport. Okay, now these are the same secret bookcases. They can open and close, and you can walk through. So that is something your students can discover, those kind of secret areas. There is a door to the outside here. We're on the edge of the world right now, the edge of this building here. That's me right there. And these kind of side stairs go all the way up to the roof, so you can get to the roof from the outside. I'm going to take the indoor stairs and we're going to go up to the roof. Let me close these bookcases. Okay. Up through the trap door here. And here I have a setup for nighttime stargazing with a telescope. So let's go into the night sky. And here you can get a nice view of Quillby at night. Very peaceful. Do some stargazing. Maybe you're doing an astronomy writing prompt or a lesson. You could always bring all your materials up here and have an astronomy lesson. Okay, let's go back to change the sky, and I'll go to sunset sky this time. Okay. All right, I'm just going to jump off the roof here. And now we're going to head over here up these steps to this building. Let me go in third person just to show you where we are. Right here. And this is the theater. So we've got a stage and stage lights, a piano, lots of space. I just wanted to leave, a few empty spaces for teachers and tutors to have room, to add anything they need for their lessons. But this is great for students if they're practicing dialogue for a play or writing a play. I often help students write and practice speeches for classes, and I can have them come up on the stage and then hit record here. And then I'll show them the recording, and then they improve their speeches. Now down here in the back of the stage, got a little, let me get over here. We'll go down the stairs, and we'll go explore that area in a little later. There's an underground tunnel situation that we'll see later. Okay, I'm going to come out the side door here. This is kind of some steep stairs that just go down to the river. You could also delete everything in this building that I call the theater and turn it into whatever purpose you want. It could, if you have a different idea or different need for your students, you can turn it into whatever. Here's one of the bridges with a nice view here. This is a bridge that takes you into a back way into the main village. So there's a cafe right here. But I'm going to go back around to the front and enter the village through the main entrance. So I'll step up here and run along here. Back to the drawbridge and the main entrance gate here. And I have this set up with an autumn farmer's market. Got all kinds of stalls here, picnic blankets and benches. And along the right-hand side are houses that are fully built out and ready for students to move into. And they can spend their gems that they're awarded during their lesson on all of those 3D koala furniture items to decorate their houses. I'll go into one here real quick. So this is a pink one. Go up here, they're all different colors on the inside. So if you have multiple students, they can each have their own house. If you're just working one-on-one with students, they can choose whatever they want, build, decorate as many as they want. Often I have students who play with their siblings in the playground after our lesson, and they will build things for them or let their sibling play and build. So that can be a fun way to use some of these extra houses for the students. So I'm up here on the top of this house here, just for reference. And I'm going to jump down, just jump down here. And we're going to head over here to the cathedral, which is my medieval cathedral, the cornerstone of any medieval village. And we'll go inside. And here we have stained glass windows with the light shining down. It's fun to make those images. And up here is a secret trapdoor that we'll explore that a little bit later. So this is the cathedral. Out the side door, we have the old church graveyard. In the fall or October with your students, they can use their gems to buy all those Halloween props and make this really spooky. Uh, get it nice and decorated. Okay, let's come out of the cathedral here. And I'll just go into a few more of the houses here so you can see. Here's another one. And they have upstairs, and most of them have balconies overlooking. There's another house. Go out the back door. This is a communal backyard for all these homes. And in through this green one here. Okay. Now on this other side, there's a little house here that I did kind of fully decorate because sometimes I have younger students who they just need more help, or they'd rather have an already decorated house and just add to it rather than starting from scratch. I'm trying to get up the stairs here. I don't know why. There we go. Okay. Climbing up. Yep. Out the window and onto the deck. And now this deck looks out. You can see the theater and the school and the train station. And it's shared with this other very large home here. This is the upstairs of that home. This home has a balcony that overlooks the village streets, the little cobblestone streets here. And we'll go back down the stairs here. And back out to the village green. Okay, now let's head into the village shops. So we're going into this little alleyway here. And you can see books. And all these windows up above are housing. There's flats up above the shops as well that are fully built out that students can decorate. Here's the old dusty bookshop with Mary Shelley. We'll go back out here. Here's the bakery. So lots of delicious things to eat here. If it's your student's birthday and you want to celebrate with them, you can always take a cake, any of these cakes off, and basically drag it to the school or the house or wherever you're going to be teaching that day. To wish them a happy birthday, you just put them under the door and drag them through with your mouse to wherever you want them to go. Okay, I'm just going to delete those. Okay, so that's the bakery. And then across the way, we have the home decor store. This store is full of basically virtual stickers. These are all images of furniture and rugs. There's rugs on the floor. There's little laptops there and bookshelves and different kitchens and couches. We've got chandeliers, candelabras. So again, you can drag whatever, image you want. Oops, that one is not supposed to do that. We don't want that. Let's take this image here of a dresser, a vanity, and I would make it bigger and then slide it under. And then just pull it out. And so let's say I wanted to pull it over to this home right here, which is unfurnished. I'd slide it under the door and then come in and just pull it out and decide where I want to put it. Maybe I want to put it right there, get it sized, or put it in that room there. That's a little big, but you get the idea. You can size it and place it wherever and lock it down, and then students can decorate their houses. Okay, this is a bigger house, and let's go out to the backyard. So this backyard has all the play areas, swings, slides, treehouse, tire swing. Um, so a nice big backyard there. Okay, so that was, we saw home decor. Next, let's go to the Quillby Apothecary. Herbs and tinctures and plants. So if your student wants plants in their home, you can copy any of these plant images and they can drag them to their house as well. Let's go here. Across from the apothecary is the entry to another home. This is the home that has its windows above those shops. And some balconies looking out over the town. And we'll go up to this floor as well. Nice views. And this one looks down onto the shop streets. Okay, I'm just going to jump down here. And now we just went into that house. We're going to come down this way. That's a window into the bakery. And this is the market, little grocery store. So lots of food items, shopping cart. And we'll head back out here and go back down this way. Okay, here's the music store. So again, if your student wants any instruments in their home, you can copy the images, give them a record player. They can drag it there. Up above there, we have the art supply store, and down here is the pet shop. So let's quickly go up to the art supply store. And there are art supplies, and there's prints on the walls. Students can make, you can make a copy for your students if they want to hang art on their walls in their houses. There's a little deck back here as well. This skylight here goes down into the pet store. That's where we're going to go now. So we'll walk out of here and head to the pet store. That's the grocery store. Okay, we've got all the pets, cats, dogs, hamsters, rabbits, terrariums, fish tanks. And here it says, visit our puppy playpen outside. Oh, there's also birds. So if your student wants to take any of these pets home, they can as well. So we'll go to the puppy playpen out here and out into this little pin. You can make a copy of any of these dog images if they want to have puppies or dogs in their house. This is the greenhouse. I decided to leave it blank as an extra space to be creative with, and also because I'd had so many images in this activity already that I knew I would just get exponentially larger because I would go crazy with the plants in here. So I thought, let's just leave it blank, keep it simple, and then it's a space much like the theater that's got a lot of empty space to bring in whatever materials or ideas you have. Okay, that was the village and town. I think we saw everything. Let's head back down this way, more of the countryside of the village. So we can go over this bridge. So that looks out over the waterfall. There's a little water wheel over there. There's a castle in the background. My original intent with this playground was to have also a medieval castle. But as you can see, there really wasn't room for that. So maybe I will make a separate castle and enchanted forest playground at some point. But here's the windmill. Go inside. Got all the grain and the breads and the millstone. Come out, and now we come to the farmland. See all the farm animals. And just want to show you how the students can just skim across the river here. So there isn't a danger of them, falling out of the world and causing that time delay distraction. We'll go back this way, back through this communal backyard for the houses and out the side gate. Now here you see a hedge, and this is a bit hidden behind greenery. And this is the labyrinth. Okay, I'm going to go to third person so you can see that's the map of the labyrinth, the shape of it. And this is a great space to turn this into an action zone. The action zones in Koala, your student will have to answer a question or solve a problem in order to open the gate. And you can even make it a riddle, it doesn't have to be academic in that way. But it says, beware, ye who enter may not return the same way. So I just have it set up, you can just open it. So if you want to turn it into an action zone with problems or that your students are working on in curriculum, you can. You could gamify this whole labyrinth and add props to make more action zones as well too. Okay, let's get to the labyrinth center. At the center of the labyrinth, you're going to fall through this trapdoor here into this treasure cavern. And as you can see, there are no stairs, so you may not return the same way. Here I'm going to click on this vault door and jump through. So that is the vault door, and these stairs are what lead up to that trapdoor in the cathedral. So if your student does get down there and they want to get up right away, they can just come up those stairs. However, this is also the entrance to the underground tunnel, and I have ice so you can speed through it really fast because it's quite long. So speeding. At one point you come under the river and you can look up, and you could even climb out of the river at this point or continue on. And here's another opportunity for an action zone to open the gate. And they come up to this kind of underground lair here. And this was the back entrance to the theater. Okay, kind of like the backstage. One of my students who is in musical theater was excited, and he said, oh, that area is going to be my dressing room, that whole underground area. So that was cute. Okay, so that image of the curtain I have there that's clonable, if you want, I have open curtains right now, but if you want a closed curtain and then to reveal it, delete it away, you can always put that image there. And then I'm going to put it in front like this. And then say, voila, there it is. Okay. Okay, so I think we saw everything. And I really hope you enjoyed this tour of the Quillby Academy and Village Immersive Playground. I really enjoyed making this over the past few years. It was just a pet project, labor of love, and I thought I want to put it out there for other teachers and students to enjoy and really have that sense of place. Because as a virtual tutor, I don't meet my students in person, but we bond a lot in the playground through building, and we form a relationship. And I like the opportunity to have parents come in to an open house or have their work on the walls of a virtual school, and then they have kind of their own home. It's that kind of fun boarding school fantasy feel for kids. So if you're interested in this playground, it is for sale in the Koala Marketplace. and I really hope you have fun, and I'd love to see your ideas or what you do with this playground. Okay, take care.